How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming out, been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Welcome back to Money Monday with yours truly, HRT Rich and Terry Hollywood. Hey, how was your weekend, my friend?
That was good. Yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't too hot. The air conditioner's fixed, so that's great.
That's nice.
So,
That's good
yeah.
news when it's 104,000 degrees outside, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah, we had a little bit of heat wave here. Supposedly, I don't know. Is it a heat wave? I mean, I remember days that were over 100 degrees and everybody's complaining when it's 93, 94. How is that unprecedented heat when I can remember a streak, I don't know, like 1991 when I first came to Chicago. We had something like 8 days in a row, something like 13 out of 14 days where it topped 100.
Yeah.
And but all of a sudden 92 is unprecedented heat. Can you help me out with that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Although I know next week here we're supposed to have a cooling trend, and that means we're going to be 90 or below.
Better look out for them glaciers. They'll be next.
Yeah.
No question about that. Well, today, Terry, ordinarily we do Parks, but Parks is not running today. So they'll be off until the middle part of August.
Yep.
So until then, we're going to have to find some fill-ins. And because of the heat, Ellis Park scratched a couple of times last week. So that's why we're going to do Ellis Park today.
All right. Sounds good to me.
You ready to do that?
I am.
All right. Let's get cracking with race number 1. Terry, what are the conditions here?
All right. And the conditions here are 6.5 furlongs for maiden claiming 30,000. It's a purse of 30,000. Kentucky Thoroughbred Fund. They're maidens, fillies, mares, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, sir. They are indeed. And they're going to run 6.5 furlongs, as you mentioned, so far in the 6 races that they've run at the distance since they moved the meet over from Churchill Downs. Stalkers have won. 2 out of the 6 went wire to wire. The post positions, the rail has been fair. 2 and 3, a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a little under par. 8 and out. Yeah, they haven't scored just yet. So we also do here a little bit of simulations, 1,000 simulations using the speed figures to get a sense of how often in those 1,000 simulations the horse scores the maximum speed figure. Then we take that, convert those to odds to see what fair odds might be. Looks like I might have made a mistake already in race number 1. We also do that for early speed. See which horse is likely to be on the lead at what percent at the quarter-mile marker. And then C-zone. Again, all stuff you can only get here. Based upon our projected early pace in those 1,000 races, how likely the horse is to get a race that fits their running style. The higher the number, the better, Terry. Unlike golf, what do you see here?
Well, look at that 5. Looks like that 5 is not going to have any problems with anybody, although the 6 might give it a little problem. But boy, look at that, almost 95% at the percentage on the quarter pole lead. And then the 4 has the best overlay, and it's pretty nice. It's supposed to be like 4 to 5 simulated odds, and it's 6 to 1 in the morning line. The 1, the 7, and the 4 have the best C-zone numbers.
Yeah, only the 1 and the 7. The barbell horse is scoring above 50%. So everybody else might find the pace a little bit uncomfortable. Speaking of pace, we also do some pace handicapping here. E-horses are the horses that want to be on the lead. They're pilots. EPs can be pilots or co-pilots. The Ps are co-pilots. They don't like to lead if they don't need to. PCs are your versatile horses, typically middle back, but they can also move forward. They can pretty much be anywhere on the track. Your most versatile of the bunch. C are your closers. They sit and coach. They try to move their way to first class. NCs are horses that have raced up to 10 times, and in those 10 races haven't finished within 5 lengths of the leader, so no contest. And then finally, your couple of first-time starters here with the 2 and the 3. Just looking at the race shape here, Terry, it looks like it should favor the 5 and the 7. So they should go forward and be in front of these other horses here. They also have some of the most early speed. We saw in the simulation that the 5 horse should be the one that gets the lead. Pace numbers agree with that, although late speed could be the concern for the 5, but not for the 4. Zig Zappa. But Zig Zappa could be way, way off, and I don't know if it has enough late pace to make up the ground it could give up in the early part of the race. And then finally, our total pace numbers belong to the 6 horse. Royal Blood, 5 points better than the Princess Says. Usually 5 points is about 1 length. That's a pretty good indicator of a horse that has a good shot to win. What do you think?
Well, nobody really thinks this one has much of a chance, but I watched that race and she steadied really hard, hopped over some hills at the start of the last race, and I'm going to ignore that race. She has a bullet workout on the 4th or the 21st of July. Then I'm going to take the 6 as my second choice, Royal Blood. She drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. The 5, which is the hard favorite right now, the Princess Says, she drops in class today. She may improve while returning to dirt, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The 4, the one you referred to, Zigazapa, she finished third versus similar in her last race. She has the highest last race speed rating, and she has a trainer who wins 18% of the races in dirt starts, and she's my long shot. I'm going to play a 50-cent. A dollar daily level. I'm going to use the 1 and 6 with the 3, 4, and 6.
Yeah, we have a $100 budget that we use. We have to make it all the way through the card, like if we're going to the track with a Benjamin, and that's it. Not including our hot dog and beer and drinks and parking and program money, but just straight up wagering money, our bankroll. I like the 5 horse in here. The Princess Says that's the most back class, going to drop from maiden special weight, 120 grand, and has all that early speed, Terry. Soulful Terra was well bet in its debut, was claimed in that race, and then had a bullet and go workout. So the last workout since the joining the new barn was the fastest of the bunch. I agree with you. Toss out that last one. Number 6, Royal Blood. This is another one that's taken that maiden special weight drop. It's not been the best angle for trainer Carlo Vacaresa. We'll go with that. He's done it 19 times, and so far, Terry, he's tied with you and I in wins. 0. Finally, number 7, I Got a Bolt. Was a tough call for me over the 4 horse, but did tie for the top last race speed figure. I feel like getting an extra distance in the third start after a layoff should be a difference maker, but I put them both in the back end of my trifecta. 1-5, the 1-5-6 with the 1-4, 5, 6, and 7 in the opener. Speaking of the opener, Terry, it looks like we have about 2 minutes, probably not enough time to go through the race number 2. So let's talk about a couple of other items of interest today. Okay. First up, if you're going to bet tonight at Mountaineer Park, a lot of people like that track at night, Terry. It is the free track of the day. We're handicapping it for guaranteed tip sheet. I thought the card felt comfortable to me, Terry. So much so that flowers for Lisa. So if anybody out there today is dating anybody or married to anybody named Lisa, it's the best bet of the day. Probably your best bet to get Lisa some flowers too, Terry, if you're married or dating one. Wouldn't you say?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's called, what do you call that? An omen, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Good 5-1 omen too.
Good 5-1. Hey, I'll pay for the flowers, right? Yeah. And then number, if it wins. And then the second thing up tonight, Jamie returns with Sean for Horse Center at 8 p.m. tonight. Larry Schulman, author, I think worked for bloodhorse.com for years, wrote the book about Justify, a new type of guest. We haven't had an author on before, I don't believe, Terry. So that'll start tonight at 8 o'clock. If you got any questions about being an author, winning an Emmy, any of that sort of stuff, tonight would be a good night to check in, talk to the Emmy Award winner, Lenny. It should be a fun show. What do you think, Terry?
I think so, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
And the best way to make sure you don't miss any of the good stuff that we do at Horse Racing Radar TV is to do what, Terry?
Yeah, you need to go and subscribe at YouTube and give us a likes and thumbs up. Hit the little bell so you're notified about anything that happens. Go down to the bottom, hit share, copy the link, put it on all your social sites to all the people that you know, and then go to our social sites such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a likes and a thumbs up. It helps us out quite a bit. We can give you more information that way.
All right. Speaking of horse race today, the 1 horse Terry, Soulful Terra, does have the lead at 7-1. To the outside is a 3 horse on Joe, one that neither one of us have, Terry. And then you got a whole host of horses. All the way to the back is that 4 horse to 1 Zig Zappa, who I thought might have a lot of ground to make up. It is in the back. It is starting to make up some ground as they go through the opening quarter in 23 and 12. Your favorite, the 5 horse, is kind of shuffled back. It's going to have some work to do to get by. Looks like the 1 starting to tire a little bit, Terry. So the question is that one going to get there? The 5 is making a pretty strong move right now to the outside. Can it get the momentum coming out of the turn? The 3-horse has edge to the lead, although the 1 is still snug to the rail. Looks like he still has some horse left. Indeed, we'll see if he does have enough left. You have the 5-horse charging on the outside. The 6-horse looks like right now that one has a good shot to be your winner. The question is, can the 5 run him down? I don't think he will, Terry. I think this race is going to go 6 and then 3 and then 5. 6, 3, 5. So your double, Terry, is alive. 6, 3, 5. My trifecta dies. And the 6-horse, Terry, went off in race number 1 at 9-2. So pretty good odds to go ahead and pick up the first leg of the daily double there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I like the 6 better than the 1, but I didn't like that trainer's record, so it was a toss of the coin for me. And of course, anytime I toss the coin, if it lands on heads, I should pick tails.
Yeah, that's true. You should.
Yeah, it always seems to work that way for me, Terry, on those 50-50s. No question about it. All right, so let's move off to race number 2 now that race number 1 is in the books on a new week with Terry and Rich on Horse Center. We'll be back again tomorrow with Ellis Park. Same bat time, I think, as long as the post position times remain the same. And then you're going to have your full of Charles and Terry for the next 6 shows because I'm going to be gone for a bit. And then I'll return. Race number 2 on this sunny, beautiful day. I think it's in Henderson, right? Henderson, Kentucky?
Yes.
Where this track is. 1 mile on the turf, Terry. What are the conditions to get into this race?
Yeah, as you said, we're a mile on the turf for the first time today. It's a claiming race, $16,000 claiming price with a purse of $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
And then as far as the profile of a 1 mile grass winner, you're looking in the 14 races so far. Stalkers has been the running style that's performed the best. Only 1 out of the 14 horses has managed to go wire to wire. From the 7 post to the to the rail has been an outside to inside. So far, no, which is weird because 7 does well and 8 hasn't an out. 8 and out hasn't won yet. So seems to be like an odd post position bias, but it is what it is. And then outside of that, Terry, what do you see in the simulations for race number 2?
Well, the 2, 3, and 8 all have some speed. So, who knows who's going to get there first. It's a matter of whoever gets the best break and no trouble. And then the 2 has got a pretty good overlay, 2-1 on the simulated odds. It's 7-2 on the morning line. The 4 is pretty good. It's 5-2 on simulated odds, and it's 6-1 in the morning line. And then that 8 is a really good overlay. It's 5-1 in simulated odds, and it's listed at 12-1. All of these have really good C-zone numbers, except for that 3 does not.
And you, Terry, Born Flawless. That one doesn't have a C-zone score that's that high either, right? That's for you, or Born Flawless, right, Terry?
Yes, right.
That's indeed. In the second race, when you look at the pace, the shape, what you have here's a barbell race. 4 horses up on the front, 3 in the back. So this one, the 3 in the back are going to be totally dependent on the 4 up front. If they go moderate pace, those 3 in the back could struggle. If they go too fast, it opens the door for them. They're going to, that early tone is going to make a difference. As you see there, the 3, 2, 4, and 8, those 2 all pretty competitive up front. The 3 might, as a left arrow horse, though, might be one that can sit right off the pace of the closers. The 3 doesn't have the most late speed, though. That belongs to the 4 horse, who's also one that wants to be up front competitively. Pretty good advantage there. Our total pace numbers, Terry, you have the 4 horse scoring out 6 points better than the next closest horse. Mr. Terry, what do you think in terms of picks?
Well, I originally liked that 1, but of course it got scratched. I thought it was really kind of a standout in this race, but the 3 is my top pick now. He won his last race at Ellis Park easily, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 6, Attest, is my second choice. He won his last race at Belterra Park, has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 4, Magna Ruler, is my third pick, drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating, and can improve at this shorter distance. I like the 5, Get Through, as my long shot. He drops in class and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 3 as a single. Then I'm going to use the 1, 3, 4 with the 6 as a single. And then I'm going to finish up with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8.
But I think it's about all in that race, almost at the back end, no?
Almost.
Since we had all that smoke here, I don't know what caused some terrible allergic reaction to me. I'm going to hit the cough button probably a few times today. Today's the first day I haven't woke up with a headache since that day. So thankfully that's all over. And for me, in race number 2, I'm going to start with that 4-horse Magna Ruler. 4 consecutive speed figure increases. That is an alpha angle. Tied had the top last race speed figure in that 4 increases. Going to drop in class and should improve second after a layoff. Nice layoff overlay there too, with the tie for one of the better C-zone scores. Punctuality, the 3-horse, you're single in there, Terry. Third after a layoff, following a huge win. It's another one that's on the upswing with its speed figures. The last 2 in a row, improving. Number 6, a test. It's also one that seems to be getting better. After its debut, each race has been successfully better in the next 2. The only question, though, is that the 2 best races were on dirt. The one in the middle, the turf, didn't really go that well. And finally, number 2, Paid in Full. That is your simulated favorite, the 2-horse. It held its speed longer in its last race, although the fractions were a little bit on the slow side. And that is, again, your sim favorite with a strong C-zone and chance to be towards the front. I'm going to do a 50-cent pick 4 like you. 3, 4. I'm going to single a 2 in the next race, Terry, with the 3, 5, and 6, with the 3, 4, 5, 8, and 10. The next race being race number 3. And right now, Terry, you don't know about how badly I want to cough, but I can't cough.
Uh-oh. Go ahead. Sorry with me.
That's all right. No, I just got to hit that
all right. Well, this is a 6.5 furlong race. It's a claiming race, $20,000 claiming price, and the purse is $30,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
All right. Now that I got that out of the way, Terry, 6.5 furlongs we talked about in the opener. We saw that stalkers tend to win. That was the bias. The stalker did win that race right there. Post positions, rail has been fair. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 were under par, although the 6 made easy work of that. It's only been 6 races so far, so not a big data set. So far, the 8 and out has not won, Terry. And in race number 3, once again, we did all of the mathematical work for you folks. What does the math say, Terry?
Yeah, all of them except for maybe that 2 has some speed, but the 5 shows the most speed. Mm-hmm. And the 1 has a small overlay. It's supposed to be, I don't know, 7 to 5, and it's listed at about 8 to 5 or 6 to 5. And then the 2 has a overlay of 5 to 2, and the simulated odds, and it's listed at 9 to 2. All of these have C-zone numbers that are pretty decent, except for the 3.
Except for the 3. Our pace race shape for race number 3. This is an interesting one in here, Terry. If this 6-horse can get to, I really so badly wanted to put the 6 and the 5 in my picks because of the way this shapes up. So look at this 6-horse though, Terry. Lone E, if it can get to the front, has a good shot to stay in the front. The only problem, a little bit of a dip there in that late pace and not such a significant advantage over everybody else in here. So it's a pretty competitive race out of the gates. Late speed is probably where this race will be won. The 1-horse, Bolt Above, and Charlie Whiskey showing the best late legs of your closers. But again, early pace figures should have this group pretty tightly bunched at the quarter-mile marker. Looking at the total pace, again, very competitive race, except for maybe that 5-horse here, Getting Paid. Everybody else is within 7 points. This is a tactical race to me, Terry, being in the right position with the chance to run them down at the end. Who do you think will do that?
Well, I like the number 4-horse, Camp Daddy, as my first pick. He ran second versus Sumner. His last race, he has a good workout on July 23rd, 3 furlongs. Charlie Whiskey, the 3, is my second choice. Won his last race at Ellis Park as a trainer, wins 50% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and switches to a high percentage winning jockey, who in the last 7 days has been in the money 7 out of 13 starts with 5 wins. Bolt Above is my third pick, the 1-horse. He has the highest last speed rating, has a high percentage winning trainer, and a high percentage winning jockey. And then I like number 2, Uncle Burley, as my long shot, has the highest last speed rating. He's actually tied with another and drops in class today. Can improve while returning to dirt, and also at the shorter distance has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 51% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse. I'm going to play a trifecta. I'm going to use the 1-3-4 with the 1-3-4 with the 1-2-3-4.
Charles says he likes the 3-horse in here. Charlie Whiskey, of course you like the 3-horse in there, Charles. Why would you not like it? It's named after you. Got to always bet the namesake horses. There's no question about that.
Yeah,
The one time I didn't, Rich Strike, I should have, right?
that's right.
It's just dumb. Number 2, Uncle Burley, tied for the top last race. Speed figure going to drop in class here. Trainer, these numbers are just crazy, Terry, off the chart. Brittany Vandenberg's numbers here. 51% second time after a claim. You mentioned that. And then 40% in the second time the horse is making a start for Brittany. Those numbers are just ridiculous. Number 3, Charlie Whiskey's coming off that maiden claiming win with the Z pattern. I feel like the cut back in distance could be the key here. Number 4, Camp Daddy, better across the board with its internal race numbers at this level last time out. Does have some good works indicating you'll get another good effort today from Camp Daddy. Finally, number 1, Bolt Above, is the most consistent horse in the race. This has some pretty fast workouts getting prepped for the first start after a quick rest in there. I'm going to do a trifecta 2-3-4 with the 2-3-4 with the 1, 2-3-4-5, and probably should put that 6 in there too with that early speed, Terry, but we shall see how that all plays out.
Yep.
Next up on our docket today at Ellis Park, where it is beautiful and sunny today, is race number 4, Terry, 1 mile.
Yeah, 1 mile for optional claiming at $15,000 claiming price. As you see, the 1 has a $15,000 claiming price. Purse is $31,000. That's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of less than $7,500 or less in 2023 to 2023, or claiming price of $15,000.
So yeah, a lot of there. So look at this. Look at this over here, Terry. The way that this race comes out of this little chute. You see over here?
Yeah.
They're going to come out. And when they come out of that chute, they're going to hook a quick left here. Look, boom. And then they're going to turn that quick left. Now, I would expect that odd turn in there will have a little bit of an impact on the post positions. And what we have seen so far is that tactical speed does well. 21% of the time they go wire to wire. So I feel like that getting around this turn here is going to be key to winning the race. And so far we see that the rail has been fair, but 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. But the farther you get away from the rail, the lower the win rates go. So again, I think you want inside position going into that turn. You don't want to be caught out wide. So a little bit of tactical speed on the inside, Terry, for race number 4. It looks like most of the speed is to the inside.
It sure is. That 1 shows the most speed, with the 3 and 4 coming up second. The 1 also has the overlay of just over 5-2 versus 9-2 in the morning line. They all have good C-zone numbers except for the 3, as you can see there.
So Wade Owens loves the 3. Thanks for chiming in, Wade. We appreciate it. Then in race number 4, let us know why you like it, because we like to learn as much as we can here. Open community. If there's a particular handicapping angle that works for you, share it with us. We appreciate it. We try to share everything we have in here. And we also appreciate comments from anybody. If you have picks for Ellis Park or any other track, questions, thoughts, concerns about the business, suggestions, guests, we're always open-minded to whatever folks bring to the table for us. Our pace race shape for race number 4. Well, that's a lot of rhyming words there. The 1, 4, and 6. I have him as lone speed here. All right, that'll make it. Lone speed in those quick races can get the job done, unquestionably. When you look at the race shape here, Super Tail of Houdini, it's a P horse. 1, 4, and 6, they are the ones that want to be on the lead. According to our recency bias, the 3 horse indeed gets to the front. They will get a little bit of a challenge, though, from that 6 horse. Pretis, as far as late speed goes. Actually, you got these, the 1, the 4, the 6, and the 3. They'll all be pretty competitive out of the gate, it looks like. Xylophone, I don't think he's in the race, though, right, Terry? I think he scratched out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he did. He's not in there. So you toss that one out. Everybody's pretty competitive on the late speed part of the equation. So I do agree with Wade. Being to the front, probably going to make a difference in this race. The 4 and the 6 scoring out as the top pace horses. Again, very competitive race, minus perhaps the 5 horse. Everybody else within just a couple of points of one another. Terry, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I'll tell you, I like the 6 in here. Pretis. She won her 2 races in a row, and she's going for a hat trick, and I always like that. That's a good angle I like. Has the highest last speed rating, has a high percentage winning jockey. Number one, Set the Pace, my second choice. She finished second in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 24% of the starts when bringing back a beaten favorite to race again, and has a highest speed figure at today's distance. The number three is my third pick, Super Tally Hooney.
Super Tale of Houdini.
Houdini, that's right.
Mhm.
She finished second in her last two races, drops in class today. Hashtag winner is my long shot. The 5 won the last race at Ellis Park and drops in class today. I'm going to play a $1 exacta key box, the 6 with the 1, 3, and 5, and $20 to win on the 6.
So Wade says he last time out the 3-horse Super Tale of Houdini. He dueled in his last race by mile, got beat by a little bit at the end by the 5. Don't think he has to go that fast today. He's going to go gate to wire. I'm going to start with the 5-horse in here. Hashtag winner, top last race, speed figure drops. Did run the much faster fractions, as you mentioned last out. That 6-horse Pretus, winner of 2 in a row. I wanted to downgrade this one a little bit, Terry, but then I looked at the distance. This horse is a horse for the mile course. 5 times out, 4 wins in a second. Kind of hard to argue with that. Although last time out, the fractions were a little bit slower. I prefer horses that run fast. Super Tale of Houdini did run much better early pace in the first half last out, and that was in his first try at Ellis Park. Drops today, facing some of the same horses in here, like you mentioned. Got run down by the 5 last time. And then finally Set the Pace. You got to overlay there, Terry, with some of the best combination of early speed and C-zone. Look out for that one to sneak out of the gates when the race starts and the buzzer buzzes. Trifecta for me, 5-6 with the 3-4-6. That's supposed to be 3-5-6, folks. That's just bad typing on my part. And then after that, I'm going to go with the 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which I think really works out to all, right, Terry?
That's right.
I think it does indeed. Let's move forward to race El Número 5. Terry, what are we looking at here?
Looking at babies, it looks like to me 1 mile on the turf, maiden, $70,000 claiming. $70,000 purse, and it's for maidens 2-year-olds.
Yes, and so many of these horses are making the first start, so we don't really have any data on them, but we do know that a mile on a turf, as we mentioned, favors stalkers. Only 1 out of 14 has managed to lead them from gate to wire. Looks like if you're 7 to the rail, outside in is better, and 8 and out haven't won yet. Again, a really peculiar post position bias, Terry. No data for race number 5, so just straight to our thoughts.
Yeah, I like the 4 Mugda too. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. He has 4 bullet workouts in a row.
Maybe he's going to leave that on the practice track, Terry.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's just a superstar in the making.
I think so. Yeah, I like this horse. Yeah, 8 is pure poetry. That's my second choice. First-time starter who has a high percentage winning trainer and high percentage winning jockey. That combination in the last 14 days have won a nice 4 races out of 5 starts. Number 3, Casper is my third pick. Another first-time starter whose breeding will suggest that he likes the grass and has a high percentage winning jockey and a good workout on July 20th. Then number 1 is my long shot first-time starter also. Breeding also says he'll like the grass, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to try that $3 turf pick 3. I'm going to use the 4 in this race, and then in the 7th, I'm going to use the 2, 4, 7, and then finish it up in the 9th with the 5. And I'm going to bet $10 to win on number 4.
Wow, that's a lot of confidence for first-time starters there, Terry.
I just thought I'd try.
I respect it, man. I do. I like the 8-horse pure poetry. Did tie for the top pedigree score. And it's about the only time I really consider pedigree is in the debut. After that, it does have a little bit of a factor, but not a big one for me. And you got Brad Cox and Gerardo Corrales teaming up to win 4 out of 7 races together. That's pretty amazing, but small amount. But again, you look at Brad Cox, by far the best trainer in here and by far the best debut numbers. Casper, the 3-horse. This is another one that has a pretty good, solid breeding for grass. You look at those workouts. I think they're probably the best of all the workouts getting ready. Number 10, Breeze Mission, the other to tie for the top turf pedigree score in here. That's a pretty decent, consistent works pattern, staying on schedule. Finally, Muga 2, the 4-horse, had a lot of improvement in the second race and its first race on the grass. Would have liked to see that one win one already, though, Terry. So I think he's going to have his work cut out against a lot of these first-time starters. I'm going to go 3, 8, 10 trifecta over to 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 over the 3, 8, and 10 for me. A little bit of a mix-up on that. So you can pretty much guarantee if I went 3, 3, 5, then I would have the winner. Because anytime I switch up my betting style, it seems to always work out that way. I don't know why that is. Just stick with what works for you, right, Terry?
That's right.
Hey, Christopher, how are you today? Hope you had a great weekend, my friend. Good to see you again. I'm sure you'll have some thoughts on horses that you like as we move along. Again, if you like anything today, anywhere in the world, it doesn't have to be just in the States. Let us know. We're always interested in some winning plays. That's what we're hoping for around here. And Terry did get the opener with that 6 in his daily double. Speaking of 6s, Terry, that's the race we're going to cover now.
That's right. And in this 6 race, it's another maiden race. I'm sorry. It's
a maiden race.
Yeah, it's a maiden race. 6 furlongs, maiden, 70,000 purse. It's for maidens, fillies, 2-year-olds. So we've got another 2-year-old maiden fillies race. So.
Yeah, another bunch of babies in here again. Yeah. No data, but so far 6 furlongs, 14 races, 7 of them, Terry, 1 wire to wire. So early speed's going to be the edge here. Strong rail and 8. So you have a barbell bias, so be either on the rail or be outside. 2 through 3, there's a little bit of a penalty. That's where most of the danger is. And then 4 through 7, for the most part, have played fair. Once again, no data for any of our simulations. So straight to our handicapping and our picks.
Yeah, I like number 6, Musical Diva. She's a first-time starter who has a sire that wins 16% of the races with first-time starters. She has a dam that has 2 winners from 3 starters, and one of those was a stakes winner. The breeding suits today's distance, and she has a good workout on July 22nd. Number 3, Little Miss Priss. She's second choice, also first-time starter, whose dam has 3 winners from 5 starters. The breeding suggests today's sprint distance, and this jockey trainer combination last 14 days, finished in the money in 4 out of 4 starts and won 2 of those. Miss Escapade, number 2, is another first-time starter whose sire wins 17% of the time with first-time starters, and her breeding suits today's distance. Number 12 is my long shot Legacies Defined. She is another first-time starter whose dam has 5 winners from 6 starters, and she has a good workout in a row. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. I'm going to single the 2 in the 7th. I'm going to go 2, 3, 5 in the 8th, and then 4, 5, and the 9th.
I am going to start off with the 6-horse Musical Diva. This one is a $350,000 horse for trainer Brad Cox, who has, again, the best debut numbers for any other trainer in this field by a pretty wide margin. Breeding is there. I'm not so sold that it's that much better than anybody else. The 5-horse, one that we don't have together, Terry, Condon Candy, really bunch of good workouts getting ready for this race, including the beloved Bullet and Go. So that's the last workout here. This is from Barry Meadows' book, Skeptical Handicapper. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you pick that up. If you are a statistics or data person like I am, you'll see that that is an alpha angle. The last workout before the first race being a bullet, that angle wins at 15% or more, hence the alpha angle name. After the 5-horse for me, Terry, I'm going to go with the 3-horse, Little Miss Priss. You're probably not something you want to be known as, but anyway, this is another one that has some really good workouts getting ready. They're consistent, and I like to see that as well. So you see that pattern on time, decent in terms of times. Horse should be fit and ready to go. Miss Escapade, the 2-horse. I'm looking at that July 16th Ellis Park workout, 47-2 from the gate, Terry. That's pretty quick, the fastest of the bunch. I think that's a pretty good indication of a horse that might have some giddy up and go when the gates open. So it's part of my pick 4. 2, 3, 5, and 6 over to 2, 4, 8, 10 to 3, 6, and then the 3, 5, 7 in the back end, Mr. Terry. I think so. I feel like this back end of this pick 4 is pretty much wide open, and there's going to be some prices that come in there, Terry. I just hope that you and I, or one of us, or both of us, have them. What do we have going for race number 7?
All right. This is another maiden race. It's a 1 mile and 16th on the turf, $70,000 maiden, purse.
Maybe we should have called it Maiden Monday instead of Money Monday.
We could have, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is for maiden fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
And then as far as a mile and an eighth on the grass, that's a pretty long one in there, Terry. So far, what we've seen at the, mile and a 16th on the turf, there's only been 3 races, so really not a big data set to consider here. All of them were won by either stalkers or closers, and you've had a winner from the post position. I mean, none from the post, but you had one from 2-3, one from 4 through 7, one at 8 out. So that suggests to me that, I don't know, again, limited data set, that post position doesn't matter. But the fact that they all came off the pace, you're probably looking for a closer, Terry. But if you want speed in race number 7, who do you got?
You got number 10, shows a lot of speed compared to the rest of them in there. Then the 7 has an overlay. It's a pretty nice overlay, 5-2 versus 6-1 on the morning line, and a really large overlay on that 10. It's supposed to be, just around 6-5, 75 simulated odds, and it's listed at 12-1. As far as the C zones, the 6 and the 8 show the best C zone numbers in here.
This one looks pretty wide open just based upon all the stuff that we see here. Maybe the 10 horse, I don't know, get up to the front where the bias doesn't really favor front runners. You don't see the 10 up there. In fact, he's in that never close column because he hasn't fired yet. The 6 and the 8, they're making first-time starts in here, Terry, so we'll see what they can bring to the table. Sure looks like if the 12 can get out to the lead, may you lone E-horse, although the 10 horse does have, in terms of the most early speed, 7-point advantage over everybody else. That also matches up with the simulation. So that 10 horse should move over here. Left arrow horse. The question is, will he have enough late energy to stay in the mix at the end? 82 for Boltero, the overlay that you mentioned as a closer, should be closing along with Lemon Bob. So 2 closers that should be right in the mix as the gates open. Our total pace play here, Terry, belongs to the 10. That big overlay that we saw in this simulation, 4 points better than Lemon Bob and OK Fine. Boltero, whole bunch in there. A little bit of drop off from 12 and down. Again, I feel like this race, a maiden race, of course, pretty wide open. Just looking at the race shape over here, if you can be middle forward with any kind of late legs, I think you have a good shot to win this race, Terry. Who do you think has the best shot?
I like the 2, Lemon Bomb. She ran second versus Tougher in her last race, drops a class today, has a trainer who wins 33% of the races. In the second route race, he has a horse run in, and he has a high percentage, or she has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 7 is my second choice. She keeps knocking at the door, running second versus Tougher in her last
Bob Dylan
races.
horse, huh?
Yeah. And she drops in class today. The 4, OK Fine. She drops in class today. And she has a high percentage winning trainer. Her best dirt speed is the fastest among today's.
And those are words every husband knows, right? Okay, fine.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Number 10, Mo Blooms. She drops in class today as my long shot, and her breeding suggests she'll like this grass. Her dam has 5 winners from 6 starters, and 5 of those were turf winners. She has a nice bullet workout on July 21st. I'm going to play a $1 double. I'm going to use key the 2 with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9.
I like that 2 horse Lemon Bob. It's going to probably improve in its second start after a layoff here, Terry. 2 seconds by a neck in the 2 races on grass. So our good friend Christopher P., his angle in there. Number 10, Mo Blooms, really strong turf breeding, Terry, for this group. Decent effort in debut against really fast fractions. Does have a bullet workout sense. Got that overlay. Looks like the top pace horse in there. Good odds. We'll see. Number 4, OK Fine. That one that ran the top last race. Speed figure. Going to drop in class. I like that combination. And since its last race has 29 furlongs of workouts. Horse that should be fit and ready to run today. And finally, I'm going to go with the number 1 horse, Catmint, first-time starter for trainer Brad Cox. Once again, teaming up with jockey Gerardo Corrales. They've won 4 out of 7 together. Brad Cox usually has a good barn of horses. Let's see what the 8 horse can do. I'm not going to bet in this race, Terry, because with my expensive pick 4, I about ran out of money. Race number 2, they're running, Terry, and that 4 horse, Magna Ruler, is on the lead. I don't know that that's necessarily what you want in a 1-mile turf race. Doesn't look like he's going overly fast, though. It looks like the jockey's really trying to kind of corral him a little bit. But the other horses said, I've had enough of this. The 2 horse now has aggressively pulled along front, although the 4 horse said, wait a minute. We're not going to have any of that. The 8-horse right now, Born Flawless, sitting in third, but he's starting to tail off pretty aggressively. The question now is they go through the opening half in a just kind of jogging 50 and almost a half. Is anybody going to catch these 2 horses up front? The 4-horse now has peeked its head out to the lead. It's going to get a lot of company here coming around the turn, though. It looks like you got a couple of horses making a move here. The 4-horse continues to hang in there, fighting everybody off. The 5 horses tried to go by. 4 horses still, I don't think the jockey's asked him yet to run. The 5 horses jockey has asked him to go. Question is, does the 4 have any horse to hold off the 5 after being on the front the whole way? I'm going to say it's going to be the answer is probably going to be no, Terry. Is the one kind of 4-horse dip down to the rail. This race is going to go 5 and then 2 and then 4. 5, 2, 4, and then I think the 1-horse. 5, 2, 4, 1. Wow. It can't have been the 1-horse. It had to be the 8-horse, Terry, because there's no 1-horse in there.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's that pink. It just looks, I'm a little colorblind. So the 5-horse, your 4th pick, getting a score. Both of our pick 4s dying on the vine right there, Terry. Would have been nice if the 2-horse wasn't in. Was my 4th pick in there too. All right, folks, that takes us to race number 2. Terry, didn't get your did you?
No, I didn't get it. I had the 3, 4, 6 in my double. I didn't have the 5. Yeah, 5 was my long shot, which ended up being the favorite in here, I guess.
Yeah, 15-1 morning line, bet down to 2-1.
Yeah.
Do you think people at the track knew something, Terry?
They probably did. Yeah, they sure did.
I think they probably did. Good luck to you too, JT Brew. This is our in-house turf expert. He liked the 4-horse there too. 20-win place Magna Ruler. Pick 4. Unfortunately, neither one of those guys came home. 4, 8, 8 all. We wish they would have come home. I wish the 4 would have came home. Those slow fractions and he couldn't close it out, Terry. Yeah, that's a horse I would probably put on my do not watch list.
Yeah.
If you have a do not watch list, do they have anything like that, right?
No, I don't.
L5. Segunda Carrera Gano L5. Yes, indeed. The second race, the 5-horse was your winner. Indeed. All right, Terry, let's talk about who we might think could win in race number 8. What do you say? Let's get on back to the winning ways, Terry.
All right, then.
We can't start Maiden Monday 0 for 2. That's pretty horrible stuff.
Yeah,
so let's see if we can close out in the last 7 races, including the second to last race, which is what?
Okay, it's a 6.5 furlong allowance race, $50,000 allowance price, and it's a $37,000 purse. For 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $50,000 or less, which have never won a race other than a maiden or claiming race.
Again, 6.5 furlongs, as we saw in the opener, as we'll see, I think again in race number 3. Only 6 races. Stalkers have won. 2 out of the 6 have gone wire to wire post positions. The rail is favorite. 2 and 3 unfair. 2 and 3 get a little bit of an edge. 4 through 7, they under par. 8 and out. So far, no winners. In race number 8, Terry, we go through our simulations again to see what sort of data we can glean that give us any edge. So far, it hasn't given us much of an edge in race number 1 or 2. Let's go back real quick here. Race number 2, see if the 5 showed us anything. Did have a decent C-zone score for the 5-horse in there, Terry, get through. Let's go back to here in race number 2 and see if we see anything with the 5-horse here. Really didn't show anything in a total pace. That horse must have just been – that light must have come on in training and nobody knew about it except the people in the track that bet it from 15-1 to 2-1.
Could be. But in this 8th race, most of these, let's see. The 8 shows the most speed here. And there's some speed with the 5 and the 2. And also a little bit with that 7. The 9 has the nice overlay. It goes from 5 to 2, that listed to 6 to 1 of the morning line. And then the 1 and the 4 have the best C-zone numbers, although all of them show pretty good C-zone numbers except for the 3 and 5.
In race number 8, our pace set up, the 2 and the 8 on the front with everybody else that wants to be middle back. If 2 out of the 6 so far have gone wire to wire, if the 2 or 8 have enough early speed to get to the front, and there with the Eli's Promise, although the 8-horse is right there, Missing Curfew might be one that can get there and stay there. Could make it a 3rd that goes to wire, especially since the 8-horse does have a little bit of late speed. Not as much as the 9-horse might as well run. If that's what you're going to do, that's your job. You might as well. That is a PC horse. So enough early speed to be right off of the lead, enough late legs to maybe run by at the end. Missing Curfew, the E-horse is your top pace horse, but not by much, Terry. And the whole field is only separated by 9. Again, this looks like a race to me where it's pretty wide open, which is one of the reasons why it was really difficult to do a pick 4.
That's right. All right. Well, I like in this race number 3 Rider Special. He finished 3rd in his last race and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Lupo's Legacy, the 2, is my second pick, finished 3rd in his last race, has a good workout on July 21st, and has a high percentage winning jockey. Backside Buzz, the 5's 3rd pick, finished in the money in all 4 out of 6 races this year, and drops in class today. Then I like the 9 as my long shot, has the highest last speed rating, and has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 17% of the dirt starts he has a horse in. No bet for me here.
I'm going to start off with the 6 horse is my top selection. This one's Eli's Promise. The much faster fractions last out. When you look at those race internals, they're all better from beginning to the end. And then afterwards, the horse has a bunch of really nice Ellis workouts. So maybe like that we just saw in the 5 horse, this is a horse whose lights just turned on with Eli's Promise. Number 3, Rider Special. Last race, a little bit better early and a little bit better late. And those early fractions were a bit on the fast side. So we'll see if it can improve in this race today. Might as well run. Did run the top last race speed figure. Another one whose race internals from the beginning and the middle to the end did improve. And we saw that reflected in quicker times. Finally, Missing Curfew, the 8 horse. I'm going to take a little bit of a shot here with that 8 horse. Second race after layoff. Does have some early speed. Does have his strongest published workout of any of his workouts that have been published so far. It was the fastest of 123 workouts at Churchill Downs on July 22nd. It's a lot of workouts to be the fastest of, which is at a bullet and go coming off the break. $1 double for me, 3, 6, over to 3, 4, 5, and 7, which brings us to race number 9, the final race on this maiden money. Well, not so much money yet Monday, Terry. What are the particulars for the final race on the day?
Yeah, the final race is a turf race on the mile 16th, and it's a maiden claiming for $16,000 claiming price. It's a purse of $25,000. It's for maidens, 3-year-olds, and upward.
Going back to race number 8, Christopher D'Souza. He's jumping on that 7 horse in here in race number 8. That 7 being Supremely. He's going to do it with a 1-4 for the exacta and trifecta box. So a number neither one of us has, Terry. In race number 9, you talked a little bit about the conditions for the final race of the day at a mile and a 16th on the turf. As we mentioned, so far, just 3 of them, all won by stalkers or closers. Doesn't look like post position early anyway makes much of a difference in the outcome of the race. Terry, what do you see in terms of, well, it looks like there's enough horses with early speed to keep this one fresh up front.
Yeah, nobody knows because there's the 9, 8, and the 4 shows a lot of speed. The overlays are the 5, which is 4-1, simulated odds, 10-1 on the morning line. Then the 10, pretty nice overlay, 5-2 versus 10-1 on the morning line. And then the 12 is another nice one. It's supposed to be like almost 3-1. It's listed 15-1 on the morning line. The 11 and the 2 have the best C-zone numbers out of this field.
Yeah, maybe like a nice little trifecta with the top Z-zone scores in here. You put together the 2 with the 11, and then the overlays the 10 with the 5 and the 12. Those are 5 horses. I don't know, is it $24, something like that, 50 cents. But based upon the morning lines of all of those, if you happen to hit the try, that would be a hell of a trifecta, I feel like.
Yeah.
In the final race, the final time, we're going to look at the pace setup. Look at all these horses, Terry, that have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line so far in their careers. The 2, 4, and 10, they want to be in the pressure spot. So I'm likely one of them. Well, the 9 horse Auto Dial, along with the 8 Saint Antiamo, going to move forward. There'll be some early speed in there. I don't know about that 8 horse. Look at that late pace. Not so good, Terry, at all. 14. Walking home. As far as late speed, if you like that, Simply Jack, one of the pressure horses, if he gets in the 3rd or 4th spot with that 7-point late pace advantage, close enough up front that it probably will be middle of the pack. That's enough to make up more than a length down the lane as they come home for the W, for the photo. It does score 9 points better than the next horse in this race, Terry. When you get to 10, Doesn't mean you're going to win, but it does mean it's a horse that you have to carefully consider for your exactas and trifectas. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to take a long shot here. The 5, Brown Liquor Man. He has the highest last speed rating. He's actually tied. Breeding suggests he'll like the grass, as his dam has 1 winner from 3 starters, and one of those was a turf winner, and they added Lasix today. 4, Simply Jack. He drops in class today and has a trainer, wins 20% of the starts when bringing a horse back from a 46 to 90-day break. And then I like number 7, Drama Critic. He drops in class today, and his best start speed is fastest among the average winning speed. The 2, Texaco, he drops in class today. His dam has 1 winner from 3 starters, but he doesn't have any turf winners. And he has a high percentage winning jockey. Even the last 7 days, had 5 wins out of 13 starts. He's my long shot. I'm going to play a $10 win ticket on this 5, and then I'm going to play $1 exact of the 5 with the 2, 4, 7.
And then Christopher D'Souza, as he likes to do, he likes the 2 horse here to win with the 2, 9, 8 exacta box, Tex Coco, along with the Saint Diamant and Auto Dial in his exacta trifecta box. I'm going to close out the day, hopefully, with the one that brings home the pick 4 for me, Terry, with that 7 horse, top pedigree. Going to take a drop in class following a race where he posted better numbers. Number 3, Spun Sun, missed by a neck at this level last time out. So that's that Chris P angle where you're you're only 1 horse away from getting that W. Your long shot, your top pick, the 5 horse, Brown Liquor Man, did run the best speed figure in its debut. Showed some speed, then faded, Terry. But it's going to get that first dose of Lasix today, and that's something to pay attention to. When you see a horse that gets to the front, kind of fades at the end, gets the Lasix, that speed tends to hold up next time out. Finally, Simply Jack is a class dropper, and I think does have a big advantage over the rest of these horses in one respect. It is a 5-year-old. Most others are 3 years old, and there's, I think, 2 others that are 4 years old, and that age difference can be huge. I don't have any bets in here, Terry, because I have all 4 of them in the back end of my pick 4, as well as my daily double. So I think I only got 3. I don't have the 4 horse, I think, and I'm probably going to regret that with the 5-year-old. Yeah, 3, 5, 7. Of course, I should have had the 5-year-old in there, but what are you going to do? That wraps up all, because I have that $100 budget. I have to live within my own rules, right, Terry? Not do as I say, do as I do.
That's right.
Indeed. Here are our total picks for the day, Mr. Terry. One quick note, we are less than 90 folks away from hitting the 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you have not done so yet, kindly be a part of the 10% that hits the subscribe button, hit the like buttons, hit the bells, follow us on all of our social media sites. Our good friend Swiss Army Sean always putting up some fantastic content that you can't really get anywhere else. Terry, that takes us through Ellis Park on this Maiden Money Monday. We'll be back tomorrow to do terrific trifecta Terry Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, it's going to be you and Charles. And then all next week, it's going to be you and Charles. So you guys will have a lot of great winners there without me. Probably more winners than we have with me, and a lot more happy faces, in the emojis. But any final thoughts on this day before you and I get back together again?
Yeah, I just hope everybody has a really good week this week. And, if you've got children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, have some time with them. It's a lot of fun. I'll tell you that right now. So that's it.
I don't have any of those yet, Terry. Again, tonight, make sure you tune in for Horse Center with our good friend, Swiss Army Sean, and Jamie Martinez, as they will have on Lenny Schulman, our author, wrote the book about Justify. And again, tonight, if you're dating anybody named Lisa, today would be a great day to go get her flowers, because it is our best bet at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Down in the description below is the link. Kindly use that so they know where you're coming from. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this Maiden Monday, whether it's Ellis Park, somewhere else, just kind of hanging out in the beautiful weather today, we certainly hope that you have God's favor, God's grace, and that every single thing you do ends up in
the winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. Thanks again for joining us this Monday. Look forward to spending some more time again tomorrow. Have a great day.